Alright, hi guys. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Zoe. This week I wanted to do a video on how much money did I spend in Bali living there for a month. This process has been really helpful to just know how much you spend when you're on a trip, and I wanted to share that so that if you want to spend at least a month in Bali, you know how much it takes to be comfortable. Now, typically when people travel, I feel like solo traveling trips, people tend to move around a lot. I stayed in the same place for the entire month, so I really got comfortable with the neighborhood I was in. I was in Canggu, and I was just living life. I just plopped myself in a different part of the world and lived life there for a month. I have categorized this in different sections, so let's get into it. So the first category is flight and visa logistics. This is all of the things that you need to just get into the country. The flight there, travel insurance, the visa to stay there, all of these things. So I went in September of 2025, and I was lucky enough to find a flight for $975. I insured that flight in case I had a change of plans to make it refundable. So it came out to a total of $199.20. On top of that, I got travel insurance. This covered anything that I might need in a medical sense while I was over there. I did not end up needing it, but that came out to $77, and I would have had to have spent at least, I think, $250 on medical expenses in order to get a refund back. Luckily, I didn't need that, but better to have than not have it. Lastly, a visa. I chose to do the visa upon arrival. That's the most common one, especially for people who are just on vacation going there for a couple of weeks. It is valid for a max of 30 days, and it can be renewed once for a total of 60 days. This is the cheapest option, I believe. It's 500,000 IDR, which comes out to about 30 USD. They have different types of visas, some that, obviously you can live there on. They've got retirement visas. They got visas that you can buy if you plan to work in Indonesia. I kept it simple. B1 VOA, visa upon arrival, 30 USD. Then we have housing. I went to Bali specifically for the place that I stayed at. I had plans to go to this place years ago, and my flight got canceled and I ended up not going. But I still really wanted to go to this place, so when I went to Bali, this is the place that I stayed at. It's called Serenity Eco Guest House. They have a couple different rooms you can choose from. They got private rooms, they've got dorm rooms as well, and they are essentially a yoga home. So what I booked a 30-day stay with breakfast every day and unlimited yoga classes. So they offer about 5 or 6 yoga classes a day. I could have, if I wanted to, do 5 or 6 yoga classes in one day, really get a bang for your buck. But it was more so just so you have the option. But 30 full days of unlimited yoga, breakfast every day for 30 days, and a place to lay your head. So I ended up doing the dorm room. It's similar to a hostel, but slightly different in the sense that instead of bunk beds and only getting a curtain to cover your bed area, you have a room. You've got a bed, you've got a nightstand, you've got like a slim but tall dresser situation, and then you have curtains that cover your enclosed space. So that I really loved. That was super necessary for me to be staying there for so long. I don't think I would have been able to do an entire month in a hostel with no personal space, only having a bunk bed. I will say I was over the experience after 2 weeks. The first 2 weeks were perfect. The second 2 weeks, I started running into issues like bugs and people having their alarm go off at 4 o'clock in the morning because it's like a yoga wellness space and everyone's like up at sunrise. But anyway, 1 month, unlimited yoga, breakfast every day for 30 days. I paid $389.15. So amazing. Really great. That comes out to roughly about $12 a night. $13 a night about. Really freaking worth it. They do have private rooms that they offer. They also have a backpacking suite, which is essentially your own room with walls, not curtains, but it is significantly cheaper than their specific suites that they have. Definitely recommend staying there. Everyone there is so sweet. The breakfast was really good, and it's central Canggu. It's in central Canggu. It's on Nelayan, which is the street that like leads straight to the beach. Just super easy access to shops and restaurants and the beach, which is the most important part. So love you, Serenity. Next, I have transportation. This is how I got around within Canggu, within Bali itself. I've included transportation to and from the airport, which was orchestrated through my housing hostel guest house. For 1 month, going anywhere and everywhere that I wanted to. Mind you, I did make friends who scooted me around for a good bit of it, but $75.70 for Gojeks. Gojeks, Grabs. I was always on a scooter. I never did a car except for to and from the airport. And that's including tips to the drivers as well. Food and drink. I thought about subcategorizing into like necessary food and desired drink, like going out and partying at bars and things like that. But there were some things that I was not able to differentiate. Obviously alcohol, but like cafe, like was I there to eat breakfast or was I there to just like fuck around and eat a croissant? I don't know. So I lumped it all together. Now, I did have breakfast included in my housing, so a lot of times I wasn't eating breakfast, or I wasn't paying for breakfast, but every now and then I did. So it ended up being a total of $422.86 in cash and $215.43 debit. Now, in that number for debit, I did not include the exchange rate fees because I lumped those together at the end, and I'm going to say that at the end. But altogether, cash and debit, $638.29. So this was any and all food that I paid for and consumed, whether it was for need or want. So that's including dinner, lunch, snacks, cafes, coffees, alcohol, coconuts, all of it. All right, then I have activities and personal care. This is massages, surfing lessons, the trip that I took to Ijen, which is the neighboring or the mountain on the neighboring island of Java, and like getting my nails done, things like that. I spent a total of $390 USD and 3 cents. Now this is the area where I did not go carte blanche, and that's because this, shopping and activities was where I capped myself. I didn't give myself a specific number, but I was just tentative about my actions because I didn't want to be irresponsible. So a lot of my shopping I did at the very end, like I wasn't just spending money throughout. And my activities, I was going crazy with massages, I'm not gonna lie. My nails and my toes getting done was a non-negotiable. I'm on vacation and that's happening. But like surfing, I probably would have surfed a lot more. I did what was natural, but that was like paying anywhere from 3 to 500K IDR to surf every time adds up when you want to surf a lot. So I don't know how I'm going to navigate that next time. If, there's a discount when you're doing it every day or what, I don't know. I'm new to surfing, so I'm not sure what the system is. But $390.03 for activities and personal care. Next, I have shopping. So shopping, this is going to include any clothes that I bought, any trinkets, gifts. I've also included tattoos here because that's like a gift to myself versus that being an activity. So shopping also includes needs, like going to the M-Mart to buy toiletries, kind of just a majority of my spending money to like the miscellaneous items. So I've split this into cash and debit again. So $409.05 in cash, and then an additional $40.17 in debit. Then I've got a separate micro section for laundry, just because I didn't know what category to put this in. I had a laundry service through my housing, but payment was extra. I did laundry 2 times in 1 month because I literally brought every single sock and piece of underwear I own. And I paid a total of 180K IDR, so $10.38 to do my laundry 2 times for 1 month. Pretty great. Also, laundry is not self-service there. It's mostly drop-off services because people have their businesses. Lastly, debit card ATM fees. So I'm happy I included this. I'm happy I took the time to add this up because it's eye-opening. The amount of times I used my card First of all, I had to use my card to get cash out of the ATM. There is an exchange rate fee. And then on top of that, there is a non-Chase ATM fee because I bank with Chase. Chase says, screw you for not using our ATMs if you're going to get cash out. Obviously, I don't have that opportunity because I don't believe there's Chase in Indonesia. So I got charged $5 extra every single time I took money out of the ATM. And on top of that, the $5.48 exchange rate fee. So I was paying $10.48 every single time I took money out of the ATM, and I had to do it weekly because that's technically cheaper than using your card. So total debit card ATM fees came out to $96.68. That's kind of alarming, only because this summer I'm traveling for 3 months, which is 3 times as long as I traveled last time. And so that means I'm gonna have to set aside $300 extra specifically because I want to use my card. Crazy. So yeah, the convenience of using your debit card comes with a price. I don't know about credit cards. I was not using credit cards out there. I was using specifically debit because I had a set amount of money that I wanted to spend, and I haven't dabbled into the travel credit card world yet, but that's on my to-do list. Grand total. How much do you think it is? Have you been doing the math in your head? It's $3,225.65 for 1 month, September 1st to September 30th in Bali. Now, if I did not incept myself into the community and make friends and, get rides from my friends and get perks of doing fun activities with my friends just because I was with them, friends buying me drinks and things like that, it would be more than that. A friend and I went to Uluwatu. That was an hour-and-a-half drive. If I had Gojek that, oh my god, that would have been $400K around, plus maybe, I don't know, just for the ride there. $3,200 for a month in Bali, not bad at all. I spend way more than that in a month in New York for sure. And I was comfortable. I think throughout I was cautious about how much I was spending just so that, you don't mess up and all of a sudden you're broke. But overall, I was frolicking. I was doing anything I wanted to do when I wanted to do it, which is really cool. So hopefully this was helpful. If you have a trip coming up and you're unsure, obviously more money is always better, but you could be safe with a couple $1,000s. If you're moving around, it will cost more. If you're doing all the activities, it will cost more. I was in Bali for a month and not once did I snorkel. Some people would be like, that's a crime, but just keep in mind, if you want to do everything under the sun, it's obviously going to be more expensive. So yeah, I think I've said all I need to say. Thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful. If you have a trip coming up or you've previously done a trip, whether it's to Bali or any other part of the world, and you feel comfortable sharing, maybe let me know. How much time were you there for? How much money did you bring? Did you feel like it was enough? Did you feel like you would take more next time? Let's talk about it. I feel like talking about the financial aspect of traveling is really great to make people feel like they can do it, because a lot of times people who don't travel feel like it's expensive and it's not accessible to them. And yes, I did pay $1,000 to get to the other side of the world, which is really great because right now they're $1,500. But once I got there, I wasn't spending more than $2,000 for 1 month, Anyway, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.